Good morning, everyone. Lovely to see you there. And it's raining here at the moment, so we've brought the outdoors in here so you can see. And we have Jessica this morning, and she's going to speak about overcoming conflict. It's such a good topic because, especially now when we're all indoors together, we need to have some guidelines about how to keep the harmony there. So here's Jessica.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to share some of the methods, I guess, that I've used myself to overcome conflict and have found useful. They're methods that we teach in the Brahma Kumaris, and they're quite simple and they're amazingly effective. So it's quite common, I think, to have conflict, and particularly when we're in a stressful situation, which a lot of people are now, living together, as Sally said, on top of each other, not able to get out, go to work, go to school. And that tension can mean that small things become big. There also might be conflict that you're experiencing with people that you're not actually seeing or meeting. So it might be someone at work or a family member who you're not seeing, but you're in conflict, and thoughts about that conflict, that perhaps argument that you've had, is going through your mind and disturbing you. So these methods will be useful to both situations, whether you're with the people you're with or others who you're not seeing. So the first thing to do to overcome conflict is to not think about it, not think about the person, the situation, the argument, who's right, who's wrong. Because when we think about it, we're actually adding fuel to the fire. It's like a small spark of disagreement can turn into a raging inferno just by us thinking about it, brooding about it. And but it's not so easy to not think about it, because the mind wants to think, and it will think about anything. So we have to actually take control of our mind and direct it away from thinking about whatever conflict is going on for you. So it's a little bit like a dog that, say, run away with a shoe. We want to get the shoe from it. So we want to take those negative thoughts about the conflict away from our mind. Well, what do we do with the dog? We give it a sweet biscuit, don't we? We go and find a biscuit and we offer that biscuit to the dog so that it drops the shoe. Same with our mind. We have to give it something else to think about so that it doesn't think about the situation and what's going on for us. And some people do this by watching television. While they're watching the TV, they're not thinking about their problems, and so they're having time out. The problem with this is that we can't watch TV constantly, although I think some people do. Most of us can't. So as soon as we stop watching the TV, those thoughts about the conflict will come back into our mind. So meditation and spirituality teaches us another way to change our mind from thinking about things, and that is we have to feed something positive into our mind. So I suggest that if you're not getting on with someone, you're having problems with someone, try thinking about their qualities, their virtues. And you're probably thinking, well, that person doesn't have any virtues. That's what I thought when I first tried this. There was someone who, for some reason, I seemed to always upset them. Didn't matter what I said, it would be the wrong thing and they'd get annoyed with me. So after a while, I started actually disliking this person. And I didn't want to dislike them. I didn't want to be having arguments with them. So I thought, well, I'll have to think of some of their virtues, some of their qualities. And I actually couldn't think of any, because always when they were with me, they were nasty. So then I thought, okay, what I'll do is I'll watch how they are with people that they like. How are they behaving with their friends? And then I saw that They were actually very generous, very caring and motherly, and those qualities were quite apparent when they were with their friends. And just by me noticing this, my attitude towards that person's changed. That's all I did, just notice the qualities, and in a few days, things changed between that person and me. I no longer seemed to be saying the wrong thing anymore. They weren't getting so annoyed with me. The reason is my attitude changed towards them. I was seeing something positive in them, and so I was sending out that positive energy to them. They didn't know it. I didn't tell them, oh, you're so loving and generous. But by me thinking that energy reached them, that positive energy reached them, and they started feeling better about me. So it's very subtle, but it's very effective. So when we sent this email out to you about this talk, we sent at the bottom of it a page of virtues. I think there's over 100 virtues perhaps. I suggest you print that out, and this is a lovely activity you can do. And if you don't have that list of virtues, don't worry. Just think of positive things like honest, reliable, punctual, patient, generous, caring, sweet-natured, easygoing. These are all examples of virtues. And just either as a family, you could do this as an activity together, or you and your flatmate, or you alone. Just think of the 2 or 3 virtues for each person in the family or in the household, or for the people you're having conflict with. 2 or 3 virtues, and where you've seen that person use that virtue. So they might be caring, and you noticed that when you were sick, they were really caring and looked after you. Once you've done this, you can just leave it if you like and see what happens. But if you like, if you're with your family or your friends, you can actually choose to share with each other what you've noticed about them. So share the virtue and where you've seen them use it. And no one can dispute you and say, no, they're not like that, because you're giving the proof. You're saying where you've seen them use that virtue. This is a really nice, positive thing to do with others that we don't do enough of. We don't notice each other's qualities, and we don't share it with each other enough. And it really is a good thing to do to keep the harmony between us. And if there's people you're not getting on with who aren't there for you to share the qualities with, just you noticing their qualities in your mind is enough to change things between you and that person. I didn't tell this person I was having problems with, I didn't tell them anything, yet the situation changed. So that's one thing we can do. And we need patience, by the way, for this. It's not like things will change overnight. We need definitely patience that the other person will change, and patience too that I will start changing in how I'm thinking about that person. And it's all about me changing, actually, not about the other person changing. Often when we don't get on with people, we point the finger and think, well, they've got to change and then everything will be fine. It's actually impossible to change someone else. The only person I can change is myself. So this activity is the start for myself changing and how I'm seeing that other person. Then things might change with them. The other method to help us in this is meditation. Meditation is a great tool to change our thoughts. So when I'm caught up in thinking negatively about someone, thinking about a conflict, a problem, just stop and have a meditation. It's different from stopping and watching TV. There's no strength in TV. TV actually tires us. Meditation gives us power, spiritual power, to start controlling our mind. So it also makes us feel good. And have you noticed that when you feel good, things don't bother you so much? People can do silly things and it won't affect us as much. So what we might do now is have a little meditation. And for those of you who haven't learnt Raja Yoga meditation, what we do is we focus with our eyes open on the point of light, which is behind me. And it's our understanding that that picture is actually a picture of each one of us. Because we're not the body, there's something far more deeper than that we are, and that is that we're the soul, the point of light that's living inside the body, just behind here in the forehead. So each one of us is a spark of energy, tiny, tiny point of light that's living energy. And we're making the body move, making the body talk. So the first step in our meditation is just to remember this, to remember that I am that point of light behind here, that living energy, that I'm not this body. And by remembering this, I'm having time out from being the body, being the roles that the body's playing. Perhaps it's a parent, a daughter, a son, a husband, wife. Time out from being responsible in my career, whatever that is. And just being who I really am, a soul, a point of light that's peaceful and loving and happy. Because actually, the real nature of every single one of us is to be loving, peaceful, and happy. And any bad habits we have of being impatient, bossy, frustrated, angry, they're just bad habits we've picked up. It's not who we really are. And so when I meditate and remember this, I tune in to that real me, the peaceful me, the loving me, and I start to feel that. By doing that, I start to feel better about myself, more tolerant, and able to just get through the day without reacting. And when I remember this too, I can remember that others are also this, souls, peaceful, calm, loving souls. And that will help me not react to the silly things they might actually be doing. That's not the real them. So, let's have a meditation and just really feel who we really are. So get comfortable. You can sit anywhere you like and have your eyes open and just experiment focusing on the point of light, the soul that's above me, and visualizing that as being you behind the forehead. Take that picture into yourself. I'll speak a little commentary and just follow that. Follow the words and picture and feel what I'm saying. So I just remember who I am. That I'm the soul inside the body. The being of light. It's like a little spark of energy. This is who I am. A peaceful soul. A loving soul. This is my real nature. Who I really am. Peaceful, loving, being of light. I visualize myself behind the forehead, radiating that light out into my body, to my room and my home, to my office, I'm spreading that peace, creating a peaceful atmosphere for everyone. I am the peaceful soul, being of light, radiating that peace, that light, and spreading that peace, helping to make the world a better place. Om Shanti. So Om Shanti actually means I am a peaceful soul. Om, I am, and Shanti, peace. If you can spare 10 minutes each morning just to practice this, you'll really find your day will be different. Your interactions with others will be different. And you'll feel better. Everyone around you will also feel better. Even if they're not meditating, they'll benefit from what you're doing. If you can't spare 10 minutes each morning, then 5. And if you're really busy, then 1. 1 minute each day will start the change in you. And will start the change between you and others. When I first started this meditation, I only did 10 minutes each morning. And I did it for 3 weeks. And it was good, I was enjoying it. I didn't notice anything happening, nothing amazing was happening. But I did it. And after 3 weeks, Christmas came and I stopped. And that's when I realised the meditation had been working. Because all of a sudden I started being frenetic and busy and forgetting things and doing too much. I thought, that meditation actually had made me calmer while I was doing it, but I hadn't noticed. So then I went back, did another retreat, learnt the meditation some more, and from then on I haven't stopped. So it's very subtle how this meditation works on us. And you may not notice anything different in yourself, but often it's others that notice the difference. And they'll say, hey, what are you doing that you're so different, you're so calm? And the morning is the best time to do it before you get into your day, before situations happen that maybe test your tolerance, test your patience. So I suggest you just experiment and see how it goes. Now, another tip to help with conflict is for you to experiment with not being a perfectionist. You probably think you're not a perfectionist, but the interesting thing is we all, I think, have some area in our life that we like to be perfect in. For some, it's how they cook. For others, it's how they clean and present the house. For others, it's how they do their job. For some, it's how they present themselves to others. You know, they've got to always be reliable, responsible, punctual, and perfect in that way. Or for someone else, it's the perfect daughter. They really take it on board to look after their parents perfectly, or to bring up their children perfectly. So the children have to be perfect. So this actually causes tension for ourselves by trying to be perfect in some area of our life. And it can mean that we expect something from others. We expect others to help us in this perfectionism. You know, for me, it was having the perfect house. And so I expect Greg, who was my husband, to help me have the house perfectly tidy. And if he didn't, then I would get annoyed. So there was conflict. Or for you, it might be, you know, you're trying to be responsible and carry out your work from home, but the kids are being noisy and disturbing you. So you get angry at them. Okay, fair enough. It's a good thing to do your work well. It's a good thing to have the house clean and tidy. But what the better thing is to not have conflict. So, well, at least that's what I feel. What we can do is experiment with letting go of our perfectionism. Still have the aim to do things well, but do them with easiness, with an easy nature. If any force starts coming into you, then pull back. So for me, it came out in bossiness. For others, it comes out in impatience or getting angry. So that's a sign, okay, a signal to you. Just pull back and just do what you can easily. And I really enjoyed experimenting with this. Like when I realised I was doing this, that I was being bossy when it came to getting the house ready before visitors came, I decided, okay, I'm going to experiment. I'm going to just get the house ready. I'm not going to tell Greg to do anything and just see what happens. And I just did what I could easily. And then I saw, just before visitors were turning up, half an hour before they arrived, that the windows were really dirty and in the lounge room. And my instinct was to tell him to start helping me clean all the windows. I thought, if I do that, I'm going to be bossy, there's going to be tension and all of that just before the people arrive. So I didn't tell him. I didn't clean the windows. I just let it go. So the visitors arrive, we're sitting down in the lounge room, and I looked out the window. Well, actually, I didn't look out the window. The visitors looked out the window. One of them said, "This is amazing. It's just like your garden is here in the living room. It's just so beautiful." So then I looked out the window, and what I realised was earlier on, the sun had been shining on the windows and bouncing off the dirt so that you could see all the dirt and how dirty they were. But now the sun had shifted and you no longer could see the dirt. You could just see clearly out into the garden. So that was my reward for letting go, not being bossy. Life cooperated and things turned out beautifully. And that's what I find always happens. If I make the effort not to be bossy, not to be forceful, and to just let go, then things work out. So try with your own area of where you're a bit forceful, letting go, not being the perfectionist, and see what happens. So we might now try the second step of our meditation. The second step in our meditation is where we really receive love. And love is something that we all need. And when we have love, we're more easy about things, we're more tolerant about things and less likely to get into conflict. The problem is we try and get love from each other, and we'll even expect it from someone, and when they don't give it to us because they're tired or they're just needing to sit and be quiet, then we get annoyed. But it's like one flat battery demanding energy from another flat battery. You know, it's not going to work. So the second step of our meditation is where we can take love from a spiritual source that's not flat, that's powerful, that's always available, that we can tap into with just a thought. And when I take that spiritual love into me, then I won't need it so much from others. I won't expect so much from others. And therefore there's more likely to not be that conflict of expectations and demands. And I'll actually have the power in me to give love to others. So where we get this power is also from a soul like this. And in this part of the meditation, you can look at this picture, seeing it as a soul, a point of light that's full of love, is radiating that love out. And it's pure love that's unconditional, that is available by me just thinking about that soul. So we call that soul the Supreme Soul. You can call it the source of love, whatever you like. I'll speak a commentary to you. Just follow the words, visualize and feel what I'm saying, and take it into yourself. So sit comfortably. And I first just remember who I am. I'm the soul, the point of light behind the forehead, the peaceful soul that's inside the body, behind the forehead. I just focus and visualize myself being that soul, that being of energy. And then I see in front of myself another soul, the Supreme Soul, who is a soul just like me, point of light, but powerful, totally pure, totally loving. And the light from this soul coming towards me is full of love, full of spiritual power. So I draw this light in, this love in, and charge myself up with the loving energy that's coming towards me. I can take as much of this light, this love, as I want. There's no limit. And it's all for me. I draw in the love. Into me, the soul. And then I can radiate it out, passing that love onto others. Draw in the love, and then I radiate it out, so that that pure love touches others and supports them. And I feel I have taken enough. I just come back to the awareness of myself in the room, and my surroundings. Om Shanti. So this is a very nice way that you can benefit yourself, but also benefit the whole family, the whole household, by just sharing that energy or drawing into yourself in the meditation, by sharing it with others. And if you're not living with anyone, you're living alone, it can still reach others. It can reach the whole world. You can send that light, that love to everyone on earth, or to anyone in particular you know, wherever they are. And that also will help heal any difficult relationships you've got, any negative feelings you've got between you and another person. So thank you for being with us today. And I'll hand you over to Sally, who's got something to say.
I've just got something to say to you, and that is thank you, Jessica. That was very beautiful, and I feel very peaceful, and I hope everyone out there does too. So thanks a lot to you all, and we'll see you again tomorrow morning. Thank you.
I'm just thinking, Sally, is there a meditation course that they can connect to on our website now?
We'll look into that and we'll send to you. Thanks. Bye.